Good morning. Just to let you know that we started takeoff. We're having a bit of an audio issue, not able to narrow it down. So we are simply going to let you watch takeoff, but be aware there is no audio. So enjoy the video.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
All right, working our way through some audio issues this morning. We apologize for the inconvenience there. We've got some folks watching, and we want to just give you an update as we're between flights here. We're going to end up with the second flight at about 7:15, and we will end up. Uh, we will end up going back to the takeoff boat at about 7:15 for flight number two. We'll just kind of play things out for you here. The top five spots in the Cedar Shore Walleye Tournament. Glenn and Colden Eimers are in the lead with 17.16 pounds. Tanner Thompson Mode and Derek Meshke are in second place, 16.47 pounds. Harry and Dalton Decker in third place with 1483. Brock and Alex Jackson in fourth place with 1470. And in fifth place, Troy Eisenberg and Aaron Sanderson, 1345. So our heavyweight right now in the lead, 17.16, followed by a 16.47. Then a 14.83, 14.70, and 13.45. Our big fish leader, Tanner Thompson Mode and Derek Meshke, with 8 pounds, 0.51. So we're just going to call it an 8.5-pound walleye in the lead here. And Gary Allen yesterday during our midday live broadcast said he expects an 8-pound walleye, 8 pounds plus. So we were certainly expecting that with no doubt. And we'll see what today will bring. Now, I'm not quite sure because the takeoff boat is just outside of the marina, and it looks a little breezy there. Just 3-4 minutes ago, things started popping, and the wind picked up because I heard the wind howling against the brand new Team Lodge Fishing Crew stage trailer. And I was a little bit surprised, although we had a little bit of a conversation last night about the weather. And if you tracked the wind, you track that wind across the day, and somewhere around 8 a.m., the wind was supposed to go from almost nothing to a bigger wind. And that's kind of what we're dealing with there now. The stronger wind, a lot of these anglers are used to the wind, so it's not a big, huge deal. But here's the forecast for today. And that forecast is, oh, there we go. Boy, that took a long time to pop up. I'm not sure what's going on, but all this digital stuff. If you work with the digital stuff, you got to enjoy the fact that things sometimes work perfectly and then the next day they don't. But you see the 50-mile-an-hour wind gust predicted this afternoon. I think the winds are going to gradually pick up, but I believe by 3-4 o'clock, our winds are supposed to pick up and howl at 40 to 50 mile an hour, at least the wind gust. The sustained winds are supposed to be in the 20s to low 30s, something in that nature. So hopefully the tournament will be over, at least on the water. We've got anglers coming in at 3 o'clock, at 3:15, 3:30, and 3:45. So we'll be dealing with that and the wind, and then we will get into the show. I love that shot as the sun is coming up on Lake Francis Case on the east side, on the Chamberlain side of the river. It's absolutely beautiful. And now we get a scan of the boats here just outside the marina. This is a beautiful place to just come and, well, fish for one, vacation for two. And it's a weekend vacation, unless you're going to fish. If you're not going to fish, now you can do everything here in the Chamberlain, Oklahoma area in a weekend, and you can end up back home. Just kind of a quick little getaway, get out and enjoy yourselves. And and just enjoy what there is to offer here. And Cedar Shore Resort is a fantastic place to stay. They've got a wonderful marina. And if you've got kids, the next thing that I would suggest is bring a fishing pole or two, because I caught walleye and bass down in the marina just off the dock. As a matter of fact, I was on the first dock just below the ramp. So just fishing the edge of the rocks there. So it's a perfect place to bring the kids to enjoy and have some family fun. Of course, you see the smile on the kid's face when they catch a fish, especially the first one, because they don't know what's coming, right? And it's a ton of fun. It's 7:12. We're going to join the takeoff boat at 7:15 here this morning, and give you flight number 2. We're using the audio from the cell phone, so we're going to have some wind. It's unfortunate that that's how that's going to play out, but for some reason we just don't have the audio. Not sure. Everything was plugged in this morning to be charged. So if you watch any of the digital content, you will, and I don't care if it's Jason Mitchell or Tom Boley or whoever it happens to be, there's always a digital snafu, and we always try to work our way through that. And today at this point, it was just a bit of a struggle, and we decided that we'd rather give you the video rather than not have anything at all. So it certainly is. It's better to have some video. People like to see the boats out there. They like to see the boats take off. You've got friends and family that are out there, and they're all going out. You can see they're bundled up. Honestly, this morning, I didn't even get a chance to check the temperature this morning. But if you don't mind, I mean, I could just take a quick peek and see what our temperature is. And then we'll go to the boat here in just a little bit. And see what it brings. 48 degrees. So, all right, we're getting ready to get out to the takeoff boat for flight number 2. Our leader, Glenn and Cole Eimers, with 17.16 pounds. In second place, Tanner Thompson Mode and Derek Meschke, 16.47 pounds. They've got the big fish at 8.51 so far. I've got a comment. Let's see what we've got going on here. All right. Good to hear from you, Lee. Thank you very much. No doubt. Good morning. Stay safe and all. It's great to know that you're out there and paying attention. All right, we're going to go back to the boat, and we'll get flight number 2 for.
All right, good morning, everybody. All right, flight 2. Boat number 74, Kelvin Lawrence, Doug Chapman. Boat number 73, Nick Dossett, Mike Dossett. Boat 72. Boat 71, Jared Fredericks, Sheldon Malcolm. Boat 70, Michael Goff, Nick Skyberg. Boat 69, Todd Lindsay, Mike Nielsen. Boat 68, Randy Hummel, Don Hansen. Boat 67, Austin Wolf, Reggie Ringley. Boat 66, Danny Klosterman, Bob Klosterman. Boat 65, Harry Decker, Dalton Decker. Boat 64, James Trimble, Will Graves. Boat 63, Colby Menace, Zach Whitlock. Boat 62, Gunnar Gilbertson, Matt Gilbertson. Boat 61, Eric Storms, Adam Hotmacher. In the bass boat, Geraldine. Good luck, boys. Boat 58, Kevin Olson, Craig Feltman. Boat 57, Phil Pulse, Braxton Pulse. Boat 56, Boat 55, Jace Pulse, Lee Pulse. Boat 54, Corey Rost, Jeremy Rost. Boat 53, Jason Donahue, Steve Gossman. Boat 52, Josh Skipper, Brad Shipper. Right, did I say Skipper or Shipper? Skipper. Boat 51, Skip Young, Cody Palmer. Boat 50, Boat 50. That's flight 2. Back to you, Brian.
Live coverage of the 24th Cedar Shore Walleye Tournament is brought to you by Thiel's Collision Center in Chamberlain. Wheel alignment, suspension work, glass replacement, and windshield calibrations. Thiel's, a complete collision center with 24-hour towing in the Chamberlain-Owacoma area. Get your ride ready for spring and summer. Thiel's Collision Center, 300 North Main, Chamberlain.
All right, friends, we're back. Thank you very much for watching this morning. Flight number 2 as the sun is coming up on that east side, on the Chamberlain side of Lake Francis Case this morning. This is a wonderful lake. It has got a ton of fish in it, and there are a ton of small fish in it, which means the health of Lake Francis Case is just gonna go on for years and years and years. The fish that are coming out of the lake are amazing. We've had some big fish. The average size of our big fish about 3 pounds. So they're small when you're looking at fishing tournament. The biggest one that we have is Tanner Thompson Mode and Derek Meschke's 8.51 pound big fish. But you look at, what I should have done was just sat down and counted and made my way through all of the big fish that were caught. But here's a 4.70, here's a 3.77, a 3.64. So that 3 to 4 pound fish is pretty prevalent in this particular tournament here with 98 boats. Now, I'm not sure how many boats are going to go out with us here today. We go out in reverse order from yesterday. Yesterday, we went boat 1 through 98. And then today we go boat 98, we didn't have audio for that first flight. So I'm not sure what number we started with there. But we're not going to have a full field today because we had a number of folks that zeroed, unfortunately, which is pretty tough during a fishing tournament. You always want to make sure that you get the skunk off and catch one fish and put it in the box so that you're ready to go for the rest of the day. I was going to step out real quick, and maybe I'll do that during the flight 3, and we'll just see what the wind is like. I'm not hearing it howl out here now like I was, so I think we ended up having a wind maybe switch directions and pick up for a bit and blow some stuff around, because it sounded like sand or gravel hitting the trailer out here a little, and I just was concerned because I thought, wow, if we're going to end up dealing with 30 to 50 mile an hour winds a little bit early, okay, that might become somewhat detrimental to what's going on. Flight 3, by the way, if you're paying attention here this morning or wondering if somebody you know is going out, the next flight's going at 7:30, so we've got about 9 minutes there to kind of kick back and talk about the tournament as a whole. We've got this wonderful new tournament trailer, and that's been the center of attention all weekend. It was specifically made by Team Lodge for the fishing crew and the tournaments that the fishing crew does. So it's a toy hauler. This is our studio, and we literally got it on Wednesday. They were able to, Cholik Signs in Pier and Kurt and the crew were able to get the graphics on it so it would look really cool for our tournament here this weekend. But we got some things that we want to do to it. We're going to have some monitors on the wall in front of me so we're not looking down at the laptop. We're going to be looking right at the camera, which is a trick in itself. If you've never done the video thing, if you've never done everything you're supposed to do, you're supposed to look at the camera. But we don't have teleprompters, so at this point, once we have the camera between the monitors, it will probably change things. And I know that Travis at Cholik Sign is working on some different things. There we go, a big wave from Zach and Nate out in the takeoff boat. They're good to see all smiles. It doesn't look like the wind is any big deal. I would call that a decent walleye chop right now, as the wind is supposed to pick up today. 48 degrees our temperature, so we are a little bit cooler this morning than we were yesterday. It was, I believe some folks said 58. I had 53 degrees, but then the sun came up and it started to cool things down just a little bit, and not a big, huge deal there. But, we've got nice weather for April. We've had to deal with snow and rain and all that stuff. And pop up a question here. Lee, yeah, the 4-pound big fish was yesterday, but then right at the end, when we had computers crash, we had I think everything under the sun went. We ended up losing some internet. Computers just shut down. I at one point lost our broadcast page from Google Chrome. It completely disappeared, but we were able to maintain the broadcast for some reason. But then we had a lot of issues, and we did not capture Derek Meshke and Tanner Thompson mode. They came across, you could kind of hear it, but you really had to pay attention to what was going on. So I see we've got some boats moving here. I don't know if they decided to, I don't think they decided to speed the takeoff up, but I'm just going to pop their audio on and we'll see what they're talking about this morning.
What was that, Brian?
Oh, I was just kind of curious to see if you were doing takeoff a little bit early or if that one boat just went by you and was circling around.
So they are apparently in flight 1. They were boat number 72. They didn't get the text or hear about the reverse order, so they weren't. So
They weren't ready.
They're on their way.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the one thing that we didn't get the audio in the first flight. What did you start with? How many boats today?
98 was the first boat.
Okay, was the first boat, but we're not going to have 98 teams fishing today, though. So
no, so far there's probably been 5 or 6 that I've had to skip that weren't here. So.
Okay, so we've got a full complement for the most part. We have a few people and that generally happens on a 2-day tournament. When somebody zeroes, they know they're not in the money. Why waste the money on gas? And they go about their lives and they do what they do.
Well, also that, and the fact that, with the wind today and the weather, if they got to travel any sort of distance to get home, they may want to beat that. They may want to, try to surpass that. Yeah, we got another one.
So what are the what's the conditions out there? It looks like a little bit of a walleye chop, but at one point we heard a fair amount of wind.
Sorry about that. Who told you no? Yeah, who told you no? Nobody in a tournament director position would have told you no. Yeah.
All right. So we'll just take a step back from the takeoff boat. We've got about 4 minutes. We'll go back to them and we'll do flight number 3. And we are going to have a flight number 4. So we'll keep things rolling. Man, I'll tell you, we've been waiting for this time, for months now. It seemed like April was never going to come. Now it's here. So the first of the year for us is the Cedar Shore tournament, of course, out of Chamberlain and Oklahoma. And then in 2 weeks, so we've got Easter weekend next weekend, and then in 2 weekends, we've got the Sharp Showdown in Pierre. Now, the fun thing about the Sharp Showdown in Pierre, you got the National Walleye Tour coming to Pierre 2 days before the Sharp Showdown. So I believe we're getting some of those folks from the National Walleye Tour fishing the Sharp Showdown. I heard Hunter Nitty is supposed to be fishing the Sharp Showdown. So we're excited for his arrival in Pierre. And why the excitement there? He was the National Walleye Tour Angler of the Year last year. So I guess if you want to meet the Angler of the Year from the National Walleye Tour, Hunter Nitty will be in town, so you might want to look for him. Now, I don't know him personally, but I understand he's a goofball and can have quite a bit of fun. I didn't understand. I didn't know. I had no idea he had a deep voice, that kind of thing, which is actually kind of fun. We're getting ready for takeoff, or rather, flight 3 of takeoff here in just about a minute and a half or so. Our temperature at 48 degrees. Crappie tea. You know what, Tom? I wish you were going to be here too, because it would be it'd just be fantastic. Can't wait to meet you in person. It'll be a good time, folks. Thanks for watching here this morning. We're doing everything we can to bring her to you, even though we've had some digital snafus and those kind of things. I love it when we get these wonderful notes from people, and it's awesome that they're watching and paying attention and wishing everyone well. It's going to be an interesting day. We'll see. I'm expecting the weights to be just a little bit lighter, but then again, really not a whole lot of weather change. The one thing I noticed, and it's just one of those things that I get ribbed about. Pressure did drop last night, and it went quite low, 29.65. We'll see how that comes into play. We're going to bring in the takeoff boat and get ready. So Zach and Nate, go ahead, take it away. Let's get this Flight 3 rolling.
All right, thanks, Brian. Flight 3 is going to be 7:30 to 3:30. We are looking for boats number 49 through 24 on this flight. Since I seen somebody said there was a boat 25 or something they were looking for. So they will be in this flight. They will come out right now. Okay, boat number 49, Wes Kemla, Adam Cook. Boat 48, boat 47, Jessica Wall, Chad Wall. Boat 46, Frank Schuler, Tim Pies. Boat 45, boat 44, Myron Rue, Sean Rue. Oh, hold on, there's 45. Cole Opera, Wade Johnson. Boat 43, Richard Steffen, Dwayne Melcher. Boat 42, Austin Doris, Hayden Herman. Boat 41, Donald Baker, Bob Miles. Boat 40, Craig Euler, Brian Kavanaugh. Boat 39, Matthew Weiss, Tyler Christensen. 38, Brian Dahl. Not Brennan Lockwood. Boat 37, Sean Coonert, Scott Coonert. Boat 36, TJ Schmidt, Nick Schmidt. Boat 35, Terry Nelson, or Terry Hansen, Lori Hansen. Boat 34, Steve Fahey, Kenny Edgman. Boat 33, Ryan Thompson, Matt Lyon. Go get him, Ryan. Luck, boys. Boat 32, Doug Lavreau, Michelle Lavreau. Boat 31, Kevin Merrill, Tim Agna. Yeah. Boat 30, Keith Bazaar, Nathan Benstock. Boat 29, 28, Michael Pasica Jr., Michael Pasica Sr. Boat 27, Kyle Kadinger, Bob Schroeder. Boat 26, Matthew Chamness, Rachel Chamness. Boat 25, Timothy Brown, Mark Small. 24? Do I got a 24? Okay, Brian, that's it. Flight 3.
Live coverage of the 24th Cedar Shore Walleye Tournament is brought to you by Thiel's Collision Center in Chamberlain. Wheel alignment, suspension work, glass replacement, and windshield calibrations. Thiel's, a complete collision center with 24-hour towing in the Chamberlain-Owatonna area. Get your ride ready for spring and summer. Thiel's Collision Center, 300 North Main, Chamberlain.
All right, friends, we're back and getting ready for flight number 4. So we will have this thing wrapped up and have the anglers out fishing. We're expecting some anglers to probably come in a little bit early. We did have a handful that came in about 2 o'clock or so. Official end time, they've got to be off the water depending on flight at 3, 3:15, 3:30, or 3:45. And that's how we're working things here at the Cedar Shore Tournament on Chamberlain and Owatonna. Here at Lake Francis Case, our leaders, Glenn and Colden Eimers, with 17.16 pounds. Tanner Thompson Mode and Derek Meschke in second place, 16.47. They've got the big fish, 8.51. I'll give you an update on the big fish here when we wrap up the top 5. Harry and Dalton Decker with 14.83 pounds. Brock and Alex Jackson had 14.70 pounds. Those guys led for quite some time until Tanner Thompson Moe and Derek Meschke came in right toward the end of the tournament with their 16.47 pounds. In 5th place, Troy Eisenberg and Aaron Sanderson with 13.45. And then squeaking in at number 6, they're Eric Lindman and Travis Sanger with 13.35 pounds. And then we see some 11 and a number of 10-pound weights. And then there are just a ton of 4 to 7-pound weights as well in that 98 boat field. I think we counted 6 that zeroed yesterday. Let's talk a little bit about the big fish, 8.51 pounds yesterday. Can that be beat today? Well, it's always possible. On any given day, you could catch a 10-pound walleye, especially these days. On Lake Francis Case, it might be just a little less likely. Now, if we were up on Oahe and maybe even Lake Sharp, it would be just a little bit different deal. Oahe has got some really big fish in it. Now, the bigger fish around the Whitlock area, and you got to go a little bit further north and make your way up into that Itasca area. That's where Keith Pazura likes to do a lot of fishing, and that's where those bigger fish were caught. You hear about pollock and those big fish up in that area, Mobridge, you know. So we talk about big fish. I counted 5 3-pound walleye weighed yesterday in the big fish category, 4 4-pounders. And then, of course, we have the 1 8.5-pound walleye that Tanner Thompson mowed and Derek Meshke caught. And we're looking to see if that gets beat. Now, the other fun thing, Tanner Thompson mowed and Derek Meshke have been fishing this for quite some time. So it would really be a ton of fun to see those fellas from the Volga area over there near Brookings. Be fun to see them come out with a great big huge win here today. And we're also keeping our eye on the new team, Nick Harrington and Tom Seberg. So that's a new team. Nick Harrington and Mason Props spent a lot of years together fishing. Mason is guiding full time now, and Nick and Tom have partnered up. The other team that has changed too, for those of you who are fans of Justin Cole and Melissa Daughtry. Melissa is out on the Cedar Shore, so Josh Friesman and Justin Cole are a new team here for Cedar Shore. So things are always changing. Things are they can't stay the same. And we mix things up a little bit. You've got different teams, different anglers, different people, different boats, new boats, some boats that are all fancied up with graphics, and then you've got those beautiful Vexus boats. You know, that the fishing crew brought to you by Vexus. Those boats are amazing. They come from the makers of Ranger. If you're not one to follow along with what's happening in the boating world, and I think if you've been in the market for a boat, I think it's interesting because I believe there was a family here from Illinois that came all the way to South Dakota to buy a boat. I don't think it was used either. I believe it was a new boat. So the boat market is certainly interesting right now, and I know that Vexus has got some new things that are popping up, that are coming up, and we'll have to wait and see if we get to unveil that on Between Hook Sets, which you can catch our Between Hook Sets show every Wednesday night at 7:00. We're live there. A lot of people that watch, they're always telling us, I missed your show on Wednesday night. Sorry, I'd love to watch it, but I just didn't have time Wednesday night. That's okay. You can get it on demand on YouTube or Facebook, or you can get it wherever you get your podcasts. So if you get your podcasts from Apple Podcast or YouTube. Honestly, if you haven't heard, YouTube is the biggest platform for podcasts now. So they made that move. Google Podcast went away, and YouTube picked up on that right away and made it their own and made it the biggest in the world. So you can listen on demand wherever you get your podcast. If you're into Amazon or I think Podbean, wherever it happens to be, you can most certainly catch it there. And we'd love to have you watch, love to have you listen, and we love those that comment. We've had comments from Lee Reed this morning, Crappie Tea Outdoors, Tom Goodmestead, listening and watching all the way over there in Idaho, and the Hansons as well, commenting here this morning. So we're about 4 minutes away from that final flight, and then we'll come back at about noon, and we'll do a midday show. We'll see what the wind is like. Right now, when you look out in the marina, and we're actually just outside on the south edge of the Cedar Shore Marina, the wind looks to have laid down a little bit, and I think we're seeing some switching. but we know that there is a possibility of 30 to 50 mile an hour winds at some point there. So,
Oh, it's definitely been switching, Brian.
oh yeah, you
It
know what?
it comes up a little bit and then it drops back down and then it comes back up a little bit, but it's definitely switched directions. The
Okay.
old spot lock just keeps transferring us today. So
Mother Nature's bipolar in the wind today too. Can't make up her mind what direction she wants it to come out of, but hopefully we don't have to deal with 40 to 50 mile an hour winds today. All right, so the way boat has muted the microphone again. I thought maybe all of a sudden it popped off by itself, but they were able to unmute that and get that commentary from Nate.
yeah, sorry, there was guys yelling and talking, so I wanted to mute it.
Yeah, okay, just in case there was a fun word being used.
Right, you never know with these fishermen.
Yeah, oh, I know. I've got a buddy of mine.
We're gentlemen and scholars, Brian.
Oh, we're scholars, all right. We're some bright people. We're bright with the new fishing crew jerseys. That's and my mom always said that sun sure is bright, but I don't think she was talking about me.
It sure is getting there. If it could just get past that little bit of cloud cover over there, she would be bright.
Are you comfortable this morning?
Well, I have my full winter gear set up on, so I'm warm, I'm comfy.
Okay. Well, we've got 49 degrees this morning, so temperature close to same as yesterday. I think it was 53 for the most part when we started the day out here. Our high today just a little bit less than yesterday. Yesterday was pretty much an ideal day for being out in the boat and fishing. I think the wind laid down for a while, and it was just a little bit tougher for those folks to catch fish. Although we had Brian Bashore and Scott Ulrich on, and Keith Pazur was on. We had Nick Harrington and Tom Seberg. And at one point,
which is this boat right here. There's Nick and Tom right there.
Hey, that's way to use your pointer finger there.
Right? You like that?
That's fantastic. Look at that.
Hey, right there.
Way to go, John Madden. That's
there,
fantastic.
Right there. Is that better? This one right here.
Careful.
Hey, we got 1 minute to go, Brian.
All right, careful. Don't squish them there. So yeah, we're going to roll on with the day, and we're going to come at you at noon with a live midday show, and then of course weigh in at 3:00 this afternoon. So we hope that you'll pay attention. We hope that you'll be watching, and we'll try to get you as much information as we can. Our leaders are Glenn and Holden Eimers.
The boat, so we stay calm.
All right, I'm going to back out, and we're going to let the takeoff boat take it. So Nate and Zach, we're ready for flight number 4.
Flight number 4, due back in 3:45 today. You are the last flight. Good luck to you all. Stay safe in the wind. You ready? Yep. Okay, here we go. Boat 24, Brett Driesen, James Wallengraf. Boat 23, Nick Harrington, Tom Seberg. Boat 22, Paul Krogstad, Chet Hofert. Boat 21, Paul Ponslet, Doug Ponslet. Boat 20, Rob Crandall, Brandon Seats. Boat 19, Brian Bashore, Jim Clags. Boat 18, my favorite boat to talk about, the Hinto, and Greg Hinto. Boat 17, Tim Hornbeck, Dusty Hornbeck. Boat 16, Nick Allen, Tyson Allen. Boat 15, Michael Hattlestead, Matt Sherelle. Sorrell. Boat 14, Ryan Lang. Theron Wallen. Boat 13, Austin Early. Jared Cruz. Boat 12, Troy Eisenberg. Aaron Sanderson. Boat 11, Brock Jackson. Alex Jackson. Boat 9, Styles Brown. Carol Stewart. Boat 8, Josh Vermeer. Todd Nibbling. Boat 7, Jason Sorensen. Brian Swarton. Boat 6, Josh Rupert. Tyler Pierce. Boat 5, Eric Lindman. Travis Doc Sanger. Boat 4. Oh man, I gotta say your name today. Zach Abu Ghazali. Matt Anson. Boat 3, Alan Flagger. Shay Flagger. Boat 2, Donnie Miller. Dave Panzer Jr. And last but not least, boat number 1, Ryan Mara. Doug Happ Jr. Good luck, boys. You go for it now, fellas. You'll be all right. You're the last ones. I can manage. And with that, day 2 takeoff done and ready. Here we go, boys. Good luck.
Live coverage of the 24th Cedar Shore Walleye Tournament is brought to you by Thiel's Collision Center in Chamberlain. Wheel alignment, suspension work, glass replacement, and windshield calibrations. Thiel's, a complete collision center with 24-hour towing in the Chamberlain-Owatonna area. Get your ride ready for spring and summer. Thiel's Collision Center, 300 North Main, Chamberlain.